I'm a little rusty on it.
I'll hum it for you.
Yeah, I think we're good. Sounds like we're good. Hey, hello, 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 hello. Okay, let's do the intro really quickly. Hi there. My name. Sorry. Let me do the. It's been a little bit. Sorry, a little rusty. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you might be watching this. My name is Josh, and welcome to my channel. On here, we talk news, politics, and current events. So today's gonna be a little bit more on the chilled out vibe stream today. I'm gonna kind of take it easy a little bit. Gonna just watch and respond to a few things and then just play some video games. I finally got around to getting Choo Choo Charles now that it is on what's the word I'm looking for? Now that it's on a sale at the moment. So gonna do that, and then yeah, and you know, we'll do that after watching a few videos. We'll kind of intersplice it a little bit. We'll kind of go a little bit of the gaming stuff and a little bit of not the gaming stuff. So I'm thinking we'll start with okay. What do we want to like start with? What do we want to start with? Well, this Contra video just came out, which is about women. So why don't we start with a video involving a woman? That sounds good to everybody, yeah. And then we'll go, I don't know, maybe we're thinking we'll go guns after that, then hear about Mr. Beast, Ben Shapiro opining on Mr. Beast's decision to stay friends with somebody after they've transitioned. I know, crazy concept. And then I want to respond. I want to watch a video from the PBD podcast that they put together, I guess. This seemed like a more controlled video, but I want to take a look at that, and that's like going to be kind of on, what's the word? Kind of lionizing selfishness and kind of living by that Gordon Gekko, greed is good sort of mentality. So we'll take a look at that as well. Other than that, I'm going to do this a little bit. All right, cool. Other than that, let's get started. So, okay. So Katie Porter, representative from the California. It seems like she's going to be looking to run for the state Senate seat once Dianne Feinstein finally expires or gets her old ass out of there. And with that said, obviously showing up on a few more, few more media shows, kind of trying to get out there a little bit more often. And it seems like she showed up on Bill Maher's Real Time Show, a show I'm not particularly fond of, but we all have our problems, and no one's perfect. But showed up with talking to Piers Morgan apparently. So want to go take a look at that. And I'm told, so it's actually really funny. I noticed this video in I think Matt Walsh had like a segment on it, and it's funny because Matt Walsh's segment was characterized by Katie Porter destroyed by Piers Morgan, and then I saw some other person's video and it was Katie Porter eviscerates Piers Morgan. So let's just go straight to the source and find out for ourselves who got eviscerated, who didn't get eviscerated, who got fucking owned, who didn't. This is apparently on Abortion Access. Piers Morgan, known conservative from the UK, which makes him even more insufferable and sound even more like the bad guys. So let's take a look, shall we? With the abortion stuff kind of being, pretty on the cusp of becoming outlawed in the United States, thanks to a incredibly radical, dishonest, and quite frankly, undemocratic Supreme Court. Abortion has become a big topic once again in America. So let's take a listen, shall we?
Speaking of kids being awful, abortion's a big issue these days, and
that's a fair joke. That's a fair joke.
Called mifepristone. Mifepristone. Boy, I didn't realize how important this drug was. 53% of legal abortions in the U.S. were done with this medication in 2020. So
amazing.
This is the abortion pill. Okay. So a federal judge in Texas, right? Northern District of Texas, Matthew Kacsmaryk, he ruled. I don't understand how this works in America. One single judge can rule, and he did a few weeks ago, right, that we can't have this drug. Okay, so now another federal judge overruled that. It's going to go to the Supreme Court, is that correct? But it looks like, and in the meantime, in the Wisconsin Supreme Court race, Janet Protasewicz, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, won by 11%. She's the Democrat there. And this was, they said, an election that took place completely on this issue. The people of Wisconsin, as the people all over America, do not want this draconian abortion system put into place.
Okay, so I wanna recognize here that Bill Maher, I think my biggest issue with Bill Maher is mainly that he is somebody who is really, really obsessed with being this kind of centrist, non-radical truth teller. And my problem with him a lot of times is that his truth telling really is hampered by his need to stay centered, in the sense that he can recognize Republicans are being, absolutely, bonkers, like crazy, nutty, goofy ass backwards, back asswards, all the things. He can understand this when placed in the context of abortion rights for women. That's he has a very liberal understanding of that, right? But on the trans issue, as a good example, Bill Maher seems to continually tack to the right on that specific issue in terms of people's rights and their access to healthcare that they need. Bill Maher is not as interested, not as sure, not as ready to go to bat and go, to make statements as like, oh, the American people don't want this stuff. Because if you check the polling, if Bill Maher had looked up some polling on trans issues and on the acceptance of trans identified people, he would come to the realization, it seems like the American people, by a pretty decent margin, are actually in favor of trans identified people, if supportive of trans rights. But he doesn't do that, does he? He's very sure of himself when it comes to women and abortions, and he's ready to throw out public opinion polling. But on the trans issue, I do notice that he has this weird hang up, and it's why I think his I'm a centrist, argument or whatever, his centrist stance is kind of bullshit. It's really just what it really is to me. And it's what's bothered me about Bill Maher for a long time. Is that it's this unreliable, or maybe not unreliable, it's this dishonest way of placing yourself constantly in the center of esse issue, or at the very least where you think the center is, and justifying your position as the centrist, compromise, reasonable position. To frame trans activists and anti-trans activists as equal in terms of their political analysis and political involvement in our system. I think that's really damaging, because it speaks to somebody who doesn't really have a solid grounding. They're not planted somewhere on the ideological spectrum. They move as the times and as the conversation shifts, they move with that shift. But at no point are they ever forced to defend a position, because they've never taken a position. And that really bugs me about Bill Maher, because he acts strong on this. But Bill, you act strong on this because you see that Democrats and the liberal value of access to abortion, of the pro-choice position, is the more popular one. So that's naturally the one you're going to lean towards. And right now there is skepticism in some spaces, but certainly not all, for trans identity. But you validate and legitimize your unease with that identity, with that community, by tacking more towards the minoritarian group. It's just, I find it to be dishonest sometimes. It really annoys me. But anyway, we'll keep going.
So she was the person who was pro-choice, and she won. And this is sort of an alarm bell for the Republican Party, as it should be, because they are now the party that is not pro-democracy and not pro-choice, and America is pro-democracy and it is pro-choice. And
the only time he mentions that pro-democracy part, but the only time he's willing to go out there and do like the oh, you guys don't believe in democracy, is only when he can contrast with a liberal, with a centrist, with whatever his value set. He's always placing himself arbitrarily in as a center post, even when in actuality, he's not.
DeSantis in Florida just signed a bill Thursday, approved a bill that would ban most abortions after 6 weeks. Women don't even know they're pregnant. You have to have the abortion before you know you're pregnant in Florida. Good luck with that. So what do you make of the politics here for the Republicans moving on?
Well, I think it's really fascinating to see what's going on internally there, because clearly what they're all trying to do is win the Republican nomination. But there's a report that came out in the last couple of days that Donald Trump has recognized that abortion may actually be a massive vote loser in a general election. So they're all under pressure from the Christian right to say, right, go harder and harder. Why DeSantis is doing what he's doing in Florida. He wants to be the Republican nominee.
It's not popular.
No, but he thinks...
Even with the Republicans,
I understand that, but he thinks he can get through to the nomination that way. So they all battle.
It's fucking stupid. Nobody's getting close to that nomination.
But I don't think they can possibly win a general election with that kind of draconian view of abortion in a country where 63 or 4% of the population support a right to abortion.
But how do they back out of this?
Even 63, 63 to me is I feel like that's kind of a lie of a number, because I've seen support somewhere in like the 80s, I'm pretty sure. In terms of access to abortion, there is a cutoff to where most people would say, okay, abortion after this point is probably not great. Or not supportive of abortion. And the problem with the Roe v. Wade refutation was mainly that we already had a lot of standards that ensured that if there were children who had developed past a certain point, we already made the decision. We already had the debate in this country over, okay, look, we can all recognize that there is a point where an abortion can be too late, where it's too late unless there are extenuating circumstances. In what can be considered a 100% healthy pregnancy, there is a point where we all kind of aren't comfortable with abortion being an option. But that means that there has to also be a point where we can for the most part, for most people, can be comfortable with abortion. That usually comes down to being the stance of the pro-choice movement, where usually within the first, I believe it's like 16 weeks or so, you can, there's pretty free access. I believe the cutoff. Let me see if I can find the cutoff really quickly. Let's see. I don't know. Abortion cutoff, maybe? Cutoff in each state kind of had their, and I think this was fine. Far along can, okay, 2020. Cool. Updated. No. I don't want that. I actually do want, can I get the original state bans? No, how late? This is 2022. Damn it. I want to know, like in let's see, if I type in like 2019. Okay, state policy trends, state policy. I'm really in 2020. Where's state abortion? Law stand without Roe. See, this is all like after. I really want I want to say it was like 24 to 26 weeks where it was, okay, that's the cutoff. But I can't find the number immediately. But somewhere around there was like, all right, obviously this has gone pretty far. This is kind of past the point in which we can be comfortable with it as a society. And I think us having that conversation and in each state and coming to what the populace of that state can agree on was a good thing. We had a great system and a great, I think, understanding. But what is it that this minoritarian party wants? They want none of it. They want 6 weeks. They know that it's really hard to argue no abortions, right? It's hard to do an outright ban. They understand that. So their compromise is we'll just make it just so infinitely hard to the point that we will catch almost everybody too late, and all of you are going to be forced to carry these children. Like that's kind of their plan. And it's minoritarian. It's minoritarian rule. It's bullshit. It's utter fucking bullshit. Man.
Been for 50 years. This was their big call to arms that we're going to do this, and now they caught the car.
Right.
And it's just going to get worse because there's going to be a lot of ugly stories because there's already women who cannot get the services they need. I'm not even talking about regular abortions. I'm just talking about health matters, you know, or doctors who are just because the law is changing and they don't want to go to jail. They're threatening that in some states. They're just not
which is also a way that you basically shadow ban abortions.
A cultural issue when it was Roe versus Wade was legal. Now it's an economic issue.
It was an economic issue always, but we've always because it's been legal and we've been able to talk about it more. I think we understand more about the economic issue. But for me, fundamentally, this is a freedom issue. It is a very joyful and tremendous responsibility to have a child, and it should be up to every single person to make that decision for his or herself. And so with their partner, with their doctor, with their faith leader, and, you know, I don't think the people of America want Ron DeSantis up in their vaginas, so to speak. Like, I just...
You're on HBO, Katie. You can say it. Yeah, and that's the thing. This is the problem, is that there's a lot of people, and I've spoken to, I think, at least two of them that are anti-abortion. To say that they are pro-life, they're anti, whatever you want to say to them. The movement itself is anti-choice. People can be whatever they want to be. The problem is, and the reason why I'm pro-choice and why the pro-choice position is the best position is because we leave the decision of not only economic, but one's freedom to individuals. Because you see, when you get pregnant, when you have kids, that changes your economic, basically possibilities. That's going to fundamentally change the way that you are able to approach the economy. You know, with having children, that means another mouth to feed. That also means a lot of investment in their education, investment into their survival to a degree, investment into their, not education in terms of like math, science, and that sort of stuff, but their social education, right? There's a lot that goes into that sort of stuff. And quite frankly, parents don't get paid for any of this. Parents, understand, are raising the workers that will take over the factories, if we still had them, of course, here in the United States and everywhere else around the world, all in a world where we live under a capitalist system which forces people to work. If you would like to eat, if you would like to sleep, house, if you would like to survive in this world, you must enter the workforce and make a capital owner money. That is, at the end of the day, everybody's relationship to the means of production and to their employers, right? And as adults, as parents, you are training, you are shepherding every child you have to one day enter into that system for another owner. That is what you are doing. Our economy and our entire society, to a large degree, depends on these kids knowing how to talk to people, knowing how to, having social skills so that they know how to interact with others. They need to go to school, which parents need to make sure they go to, so that they have the proper education to fill some of these roles. You know, if they go to college, so that they can be programmers and software engineers and everything else. Everything lays upon the foundation of their upbringing at home. And it's labor that parents work every single day to produce, that they get nothing out of it. Only the continuation of, widgets to be placed in the machine to make a company some more money through their surplus labor value. Like these are the things that like from a broad spectrum, right? From a broad point of view, that is the role that parents are playing, and it's a role that they're not compensated for. Instead, our wages have been stifled to a large degree, meaning more parents have to carry more of a load by having children, while not actually given more leeway to live their lives, to be able to do such a thing. So, I mean, the relationship is all fucked. You know, people work really fucking hard to just keep enough food on the table to keep their children fed, and sometimes they go hungry doing that. We have a percentage in this country of children who live under not just childhood poverty or even child starvation, I suppose, but it's insecurity to food and to resources. And we can find out what percentage of children in the United States have a questionable or not questionable, I suppose, a fleeting relationship with the resources that will keep them alive and keep them growing. And we can make programs for this, SNAP benefits, all sorts of social programs to ensure that the children of this country are not going hungry, are not strapped for food, all of these things. But we choose every day to not fix these sort of issues and to address other issues. So everything when we talk about the economic side is always a choice. I want to drive that point home. If I ever, I'm not an economist. I'm not like, the biggest economics guy. But one thing I've learned through working every single day of my life, well, not my entire life, but working every single day since I started working, is that all of these, everything that gets done in our economy is a choice. Nothing in our system is natural. These are all choices, and these are all systems that we build. But anyway.
I thought what was interesting on this particular issue of this particular pill, mifepristone, is that it causes apparently 5 deaths per million users. Now, penicillin causes 20 deaths per million users. But there's another drug which causes 10 times as many deaths. And I thought, Kenny, you might agree with me here.
Don't say pot.
No. It's not pot. You're okay, Bill. But one thing they could do in revenge, the FDA, they could actually ban this drug, which is Viagra, which is 10 times more deadly, which I would imagine, if they did that, would probably have a direct negative impact on the sex lives.
Okay. I'm confused. Okay. I guess we'll go see. I want to know what the big gotcha thing was, because I was led to believe that there was a big gotcha in here.
All right, moving on to Representative Katie Porter, who's a Democrat from California.
Yep, that is true.
Any Democrat from California, she's a repulsive human being, deeply unlikable on every level, and she's also now running for Senate, and she has a book coming out.
I love that she's clearly never seen
Nobody's going to buy
Katie.
it.
Okay,
like Piers Morgan especially.
And
it didn't go well for her.
Right. Okay.
Nobody, including Riley Gaines, who I disagree with.
Oh, is this the Riley Gaines stuff? Oh, why are we talking about this fucking loser? God damn. So Riley Gaines. So originally I thought that Riley Gaines. So why are we talking about a loser? Okay. Right. Let's see. Let's No, I don't need an interview. I just want to know, because if I remember correctly, where is it? Swimmer? ESPN? No. I don't care how you feel. Let's see. Oh man. Is it like placement? So from what I heard, yeah. Went ahead and gave the 5th place trophy. Yeah. But you can pose on the podium with the 6th place trophy. Gaines said that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep. I left there with no trophy. University of Kentucky swimmer Riley Gaines, continues to speak out about the efforts of transgender participation in collegiate. So I guess we're on the trans issue now. I didn't really care about this, but okay. Well, we weren't. Sports pool. We weren't on this yet, but okay. Fine, we'll indulge. Let's see. Leah Thomas's appearance at the recent NCAA championships. Here is what she said previously about the issue. In the 200 freestyle final NCAA that last month, Kentucky senior Riley Gaines finished tied for fucking 5th with Penn's Leah Thomas, the transgender swimmer. So I need to know right now. I was under the impression, let's actually do dark mode really quickly. There we go. That's better. I need to know, because I've been told from conservatives and from people who are very, very concerned about women's sports all of a sudden, about fairness. I was told that women would be out-competed by men, right? That these trans women would just fucking pummel the competition of cis women in these competitions and uproot all of the progress that women's sports has made and that and all the shit that all these people already fought against and didn't like to begin with, right? I heard about all of this. In my mind, I thought to myself, whoa, Leah Thomas must have like won a race, and like this Riley Gaines chick, lost because of her, biological realities or whatever. Come to find out, they fucking tied. They tied. They tied. Guys, they tied. She didn't even get beat. She got beat. First of all, Leah Thomas got beat by 4 people, 4 other cis women, and this motherfucker got beat by 4 other cis women. So what the fuck are we talking about Leah Thomas for? You want to know why? You want to know why we're hearing about Leah Thomas and why Riley Gaines has gained any kind of notoriety? Because she's a fucking crybaby, whiny bitch baby loser who was like, I didn't, oh no, I like tied for 5th with like a transgender woman. That's not fair at all. Like, dipshit. There were 4 cis women who beat both of your asses. This isn't even a competition between the top 3 people. This is fucking arguing over copper. You 2 are down here in the fucking tinfoil category and complaining. Leah Thomas is happy to compete, do well. And what do? You make up an excuse and bitch and moan about everything. I originally thought this was way more controversial, along with like, way more interesting of a conversation with the Riley Gaines thing, but it's just not. It's just not. It's utterly boring. She's a loser. She can hold that L. The only thing she's actually mad about is that they only had 1 5th place trophy. And I think, and wasn't it like, I think I heard, let's see, Leah Thomas. Yeah. Because like, it seems like they just arbitrarily picked one of the 5th place people have to go. So it's going to be Leah Thomas. I believe it's because if they go by first name, but I could be wrong about that. But either way, you're going to get a 5th place trophy, girl. Whoa, Jesus is here. Hello, my Lord, my Savior. Yes. Close the door to the afterlife, please. Jesus Christ. Gain such a argument. Like, thank you, Lord, for sparing me. All right. Hey, do I remember rebuke and reprove? Trump is the new black. Power to the people. Funny. Swimming. Women may have an anthropometric advantage due to shorter stature and a higher body fat percentage. Okay. Do you think we check all of these things when people enter sports? You do know that the people who are really, 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 really good at sports are, but especially Olympic level, you do know that they're generally like described as athletic freaks. Like they are anomalies in terms of their genetic advantages. Have you seen like the wingspan on like what's homeboy who like smoked weed, had like a Subway thing? He's like a swimmer, whatever the fuck his name is. Like, have you seen that guy's wingspan compared to other people? Like, some people are going to have a genetic advantage no matter what sport they play, if they just were born genetically better suited for that sport. There's describing all competition sports. Try that with any other sport. If you're too weak to play with men, beta, go start your own league, but leave our women alone. Hey, rebuke and reprove. Question. So why is it that Leah Thomas got beat out by 4 other cis women if they're so dominant? It wasn't a competition for first and second place. If anything, Leah Thomas tied for 5th. So what is this men are better than women bullshit? I was under the understanding that all men would always beat all women in any sporting competition. I was under the impression that men are just obviously always better. But kind of seems like most women can beat like genetic males. It's not really a big deal. To me, gendered sports kind of seems silly after a certain point. But you know, I mean, again, it kind of proves all of this is a lot of bullshit. Also, if you can name me like more than if you really want to tell me that you watch women's sports before literally the trans issue came up, then then maybe I'll take your word for it. But almost none of you watched women's sports until this became a battle, until it became a battle grind to be bigoted against trans people. Let's see. Gaines, she argued. Yeah, okay, yeah. This is just crybaby loser bullshit. We're not even gonna do it because I don't really care enough. It's kind of a non-issue in my opinion. Why did my playlist get shorter all of a sudden? That's weird. I like how you have rebuke and then you have all caps and. That's so dumb. Okay. What should we do? Well, you know what? Since I'm already on the trans issue,
well, folks, Mr. Beast is the top YouTuber on planet Earth. His videos are really, really watchable, beautifully produced, really entertaining, but now he's got a major problem.
They're fine.
Many people who are sort of outside the YouTube sphere have no idea who Mr. Beast is, but Mr. Beast is the single most popular YouTuber on YouTube.
Outside the YouTube space? My friend, a lot of normies watch Mr. Beast. But okay.
And he has tens of millions of followers.
What is Ben wearing right now? He looks like a fucking like new age like hippie dippy guy. What? Oh my head. Oh my head. Oh my head. Oh. Rebuke and reprove. Why are you talking about contact sports? The Riley Gaines Leah Thomas bitch fit is about swimming. So why would I be talking about anything other than swimming? Jesus Christ. Pay attention. We're talking about swimming, or we were. Now we're not.
Followers. A huge number of people follow his videos. Even if you're not sort of a routine YouTuber, you've probably seen some of his videos. He very famously, a couple of years ago, for example, did a remake of Squid Game in which he actually hired a bunch of people or offered a bunch of people to take part in Squid Game. They're then shot with paintball guns.
I like Squid Game.
His videos are incredibly well done. They've been viewed hundreds of millions of times each. We're talking about billions and billions of views for Mr. Beast. He's a very young guy. He's like 24, 25 years old. His actual name is Jimmy Donaldson. And the entire sort of drive of his show is that he does these incredibly creative videos, very clickable videos. And very often he does things for charity in his videos as well. We've talked about him on the show before, helping to donate money so that people who are going blind can actually have surgery, or making sure that people in Africa.
I did not know that was his
stuff on his YouTube channel. The entire sort of vibe of his show is that
I'm like so curious how many. This dude has 146 million subs. Jesus. Let's see. No, what's his like what's his like overall views? Overall views 24,821,074,509. That's a lot. Actually, you know, I want to know one of my old YouTube favorites. What's Mark's stats? God, even Markiplier is only at 34 and with 19 billion views. Jesus, what did I say that dude's numbers were? I have short-term memory loss. 24. Actually, kind of only behind, but I mean, granted, behind by billions, but Jesus Christ. Okay.
And some of his friends, sort of the bros, they're constantly going and they are doing things together. It's him and his team of friends. Well, now Mr. Beast has a problem. Mr. Beast's problem is that one of his co-stars, his longtime friend Chris Tyson, has decided that he is now a woman. Now, normally, this isn't really a problem, right? You got a friend, your friend decides that they're a woman. That's a you issue, right? I mean, that's just a question for you in your life. How are you going to handle that? But the problem is for Mr. Beast that Chris Tyson is actually a member of the cast. Chris Tyson is a person who was part of sort of the bro crew, and now he is saying that he is gender transitioning into becoming a woman.
So what exactly is the problem here? Like, if we're being a bit, I don't even want to say reductive. If we're just being literal here, what's the name of this video is "This Is Why Mr. Beast is in Big," and I say those two in that way because that's how it's titled, trouble. To which, what's the problem? There was a person. What is their gender transition going to somehow affect their ability to do their job as a? I think they're an on-screen personality or they're part of the crew. What? How would that affect that? Just their identity.
And for people who are fans of Mr. Beast, this sort of changes the dynamic a little bit. Sort of changes the dynamic. Right? If you are somebody who watches Mr. Beast regularly,
it only changes the dynamic as much as you let it change the dynamic.
One guy who is pretending to be or believes that he is a woman, it changes the dynamic in rather stark ways, especially given the fact that Chris Tyson has in the past made sort of transgender jokes about transgenderism. Well, a little.
Do you think they could have had like a personal conversation about that, Ben? You could be like, hey, I know I said that stuff, and that was probably a while ago. I've grown since then, and, I have different opinions. And then that person goes, cool, we've been friends the entire time. I think you're a good person. Let's move on. And again, Ben makes it as like this, oh, well, that's it's got to be weird for the crew. At the end of the day, Ben, you shouldn't be, who are you to speak for Mr. Beast's crew? Who are you, Ben, to speak for other men? Men can speak for themselves. Bros can speak for bros.
He decided that he was going to begin hormone replacement therapy, and he started looking significantly less masculine on camera and significantly more feminine on camera. Now, listen, if you were running a TV show, which is essentially what Mr. Beast is doing, if you're running a piece of entertainment, then typically what you do is you cast for roles, right? Now, on YouTube, because it's all about authenticity, very often they're just sort of your friends. But the reality is the dynamic
Ben, you understand this.
Is
you have Matt Walsh of Big on
the cameras. And so typically speaking, let's say that you were running a show, other than the Umbrella Academy, and one of your stars decided they were a member of the opposite sex. What would you do? Well, you would probably just say, well, you don't get to be in the show anymore because the dynamic of the show has changed. And that has nothing to do with bigotry. That has to do with the dynamic and success of the show. Not only that, if you were...
Well. Here's the thing. If, because somebody's identity changed, right? If somebody went from, and we'll take his example, we'll take his low-hanging fruit example of the Umbrella Academy, right? The Umbrella Academy, what's their name? Elliot Page, yes. Elliot Page was on the Umbrella Academy before they transitioned into Elliot Page, obviously, right? To which one would say, oh, we need to recast this role because now you're the same actor, but now you're trying to play the same character, but you look and maybe act different, or any of these things, right? And one might say, okay, look, if you're going to argue that you need to completely recast the role, the question is, what's the artistic merit in that? Can you evolve the character? Can you have the character go through a sort of similar experience? Is there a way to hold on to that actor or actress and have them evolve, I guess, as a character that mirrors their who's playing that character? Absolutely. There's no reason why you couldn't do that. TV shows, like books, like video games, like a lot of things, are fiction. They are creative works that we control the everything of. So why that would only be a problem if it's a problem for you as a writer, for you as a showrunner, for you as a director, for you as anything. And you see, Ben is already working from the framework that would bother him, that would to him, if he couldn't work with that. He can't work with somebody who's transitioned. It's unworkable, right? But again, that kind of belies a bit of bias, a bit of bigotry, a bit of, I don't want to say hate, but certainly a bit of disregard for a certain group of people. No. It's like, well, what's bothersome about it? It's the same. It's literally the same person. If you believe in souls, like I'm sure Ben Shapiro does, that's the same person. The only thing that's changed is the physical components of them. Why would their acting change? They're not a different person. So why couldn't you write this character with that evolution, with that change? Why is that so impossible? Considering also Mr. Beast's show, as far as I know, isn't a scripted show. It's not scripted. They're not actors. They're just 5 dudes or some shit. So what's the hard part? They appear on the show like every other day they've appeared on the show. But to Ben, it's immediately an issue. So I kind of want to see where he comes from this. But already we're kind of in the yeah, it's a problem. You think it's a problem because it's a problem for you, not realizing for Mr. Beast, and I think he said this on Twitter, it ain't a problem for him. He's like, same person. I don't have a different relationship all of a sudden. They are the same person I grew up with, worked with, and everything else with. So
you were actually friends with somebody. If one of my close friends were on camera with me and they decided to make a radical life shift, they wouldn't expect me to continue to put the success of my career on hold or at risk because they were making a personal life decision. In other words, it's not my job to make room for you on this particular show because you've decided to make a life decision that now cuts directly against the entire dynamic of the show. Now, I mentioned the Umbrella Academy a moment ago on Netflix. They've run into serious trouble because the Umbrella Academy started off with Ellen Page, a woman, playing a girl on the show, like a straight woman on the show. And then Ellen Page decided that she was a lesbian. And so they actually added a lesbian storyline in the middle of Umbrella Academy. And then Ellen Page decided that she was Elliot Page, a man. And so then they turned the entire character into a male. And that just doesn't work. I mean, it's ridiculous and it's silly.
What doesn't work about it? I mean, the experience of being a woman and being gay and being trans, those are all relatable. Those are all phenomena. Those are all life paths people take. What's weird about it? It's only weird if you're bothered by it. For most people, they're like, I don't like. Most people would say, oh, like, you know, if you didn't check out one season or maybe you didn't even keep up with any of this, you just watch the show, you don't interact with, you know, Elliot Page on Instagram or Twitter or anywhere, you know, you don't pay attention to it, you just watch the show. It's all you do. And suddenly, in like the next season, it's Elliot Page instead of Ellen Page, and you're like, oh, what happened to them? And somebody just, you know, you go and Google it, and it's like, oh, same person. Oh, cool. So whoa, that's an interesting, and didn't see that coming. Okay, cool. Let's see where the story goes. These things are, it's just always this, oh, it can't be interesting or it can't work. Like being trans just can't work in a storyline. Like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about?
But that's exactly what is sort of now expected in the entertainment world, is that everyone who casts these shows, they have to treat people who completely change their entire identity as completely unfireable, like absolutely unfireable. So all this began when Chris Tyson started to change his appearance on the show to appear more feminine, and then started tweeting out publicly about the benefits and wonders of gender-affirming healthcare.
Cool.
So Chris Tyson tweeted out, and again, he's changed his entire Twitter profile. So now he has sort of an illustration of himself looking like a woman, although he doesn't look anything like that in real life. He looks like a dude who's wearing some makeup and has some long hair. He says,
oh, give it some time. Give it some time, Ben.
HRT, that'd be hormone replacement therapy, saved me and many others' lives.
True.
The hurdles GNC people, gender non-conforming people, have to jump through to get life-saving gender-affirming healthcare in a first-world country is wild to me. Just let people make informed decisions about their own bodies.
True.
And people started pointing out, well, Chris, you know, when you make life decisions, it actually has impact on other people. See, this is the magnificent narcissism of modern society, is that we decide that the personal life decisions that make us feel better in the cockles of our heart, these are the things that really matter in life, not our relationships with other people, not, in Chris Tyson's case, the relationship that he has with his wife
Well, the question becomes, and we see this a lot with transphobes, is I remember there's a study coming out of the UK that was opining, I suppose, on the gender dysphoria, or I think it was, what's the term? It's like rapid onset gender dysphoria. And this study was conducted by asking the parents of trans kids how they felt about their child's gender transition, and also were sourced from a rather anti-transition forum or blog or whatever, to which one has to think, why the fuck do I care about parents' opinions on their kids' genders? This is a weird viewpoint that I don't think I'm ever going to be able to understand, because it's never made sense to me from a on like a fundamental level. I mean, I guess it makes sense to me. There are people who have kids and see those children as property, as extensions of their self, but that's not really how kids and adults and parents and children work. That's not something that I think we should reinforce, and I don't think there's a lot of value in that framework for the relationship. My parents are divorced. I have one parent who I grew up with and was a lot more overbearing and a lot more controlling of what I could do, and another who treated me as mildly equal for the most part. And because of that, I have two very different relationships with both of them. And have for a long time had two very different relationships. Neither of them I have bad relationships with, but one took a little bit work to work on than the other one did. And this idea that kids are our property and that we get to have a say on who they have sex with, who they date, who they are fundamentally as people, if we're parents, is utter fucking bullshit. It's utter bullshit. That is the height of narcissism. The idea that you own yourself is narcissistic to Ben Shapiro. Meanwhile, he favors the opinions and the biases and the desires of the people who are simply onlookers of other people's lives over those individuals. Tells you a lot about Ben Shapiro's relationship to other people. Ben Shapiro would rather you do everything in your power to make him feel comfortable than you feel comfortable yourself. This is narcissism. What he's trying to pass off as narcissism is one controlling themselves and not being concerned with the myriad of people who would rather you be different. Every single day, the world tells you, be different, be someone else, be this, be that, be taller, be more fit, be shorter, everything about our world right now is telling you to be something you're not, that the person that you are is not quite the ideal that it could be, through social media, through everything else. And Ben Shapiro here is reinforcing that kind of behavior. And again, this is coming from somebody who believes and advocates for capitalism, an incredibly selfish economic system, one where greed is the number one goal, where the accumulation of wealth through any means necessary is the edict. And this guy wants you to believe that, oh no, look, you should make your life decisions based on everybody else, not your own happiness and your own comfort. It's ridiculous.
And his kid. He has a wife and he has a kid. Let me just express something to you right now. If you decide that your feelings of comfort and gender identity are more important than your relationship with your wife and your child, you are being selfish. This is true for everyone. If you're a man and you decide that you're going to cheat on your wife because, listen, it makes you feel better about yourself. You're hitting your 40s, and now it's time for that midlife.
Well, it's too bad that cheating on your wife is actively a refutation of the commitment that you made to your wife. See, when you get married, you make a commitment to your wife that you will, at the very least from a monogamous sense, and some married couples, I know Ben probably doesn't like this, some married couples are non-monogamous, and some married couples have have arrangements for these sorts of things. But let's go with the generic, the vanilla, monogamous, straight relationship. That relationship, in and of itself, is one of partnership between two people in exclusive relations. If you are to change your identity, right? If you're this guy, you have a wife, you have a kid, and you are trans, and this is not something you're able, comfortable, whatever, to express this later on in life, you know whose problem that is? You want to know whose problem that is? That's that family's problem, and that's their fucking business to deal with. I'll be interested to see if Ben gets a response from Chris, whatever the fuck their last name is, because this is some vile fucking shit. This is Ben Shapiro coming into this person's marriage and telling them how their relationship should work and condemning this person's desire to live their true identity and using the marriage that they volunteered into, they agreed to, they talked to their wife every single day, probably throughout this entire process, probably has the support of their wife and of their child. And Ben Shapiro's here to say, your family might appreciate it, your family might be supportive, but you didn't ask me. You didn't ask me, Benjamin B. Shapiro. Because Ben is a selfish, self-centered person. You need his permission for your family to be okay with you transitioning.
If crisis and you decide to go get a younger model and take that for a ride, well, that is you being a bad person. That is you being a narcissist. That is you ignoring the actual priorities of your own life. Life is about what are you going to sacrifice on behalf of the people who mean the most to you. It is not about you feeling the best you can feel on the interior of you, especially because that's a really subjective feeling, and it turns out it's incredibly transitory.
Everything's a subjective feeling.
Not only is it transitory, when you're telling lies to yourself, it's incredibly damaging. When you're telling yourself a lie that you're a member of the opposite sex, and meanwhile...
Yes. I mean, this is the usual, nobody is saying that they're a member of the opposite sex. It's gender. Ben can never bite the bullet on this one, even though I think he has recognized that gender and sex are different, but he's always going to pretend in every video segment that he doesn't know that. So we're not even going to really address that part.
Completely destroying, presumably, your relationship with your wife, and also
presumably
completely confusing your own child. That actually is a bad thing to do. This should not be a controversial statement because, again, this is true for everyone. Gay, straight, gender non-conform, whatever you are.
Not
your
that complicated
priority
to say.
is providing for your child a level of stability and understandability to the world and to your spouse.
Do you think, first of all, in terms of stability, this dude works for Mr. Beast. I think they're doing all right. And in terms of understandability to the world, do you think there's some value in your child understanding that people might identify with the opposite gender that they were assigned from birth? That humans are not these stoic, unmoving husks of flesh, that we are changing, we are developing even after birth as human beings, as whole identities. You know, there's the whole argument people throw out there, or at the very least, there's the whole understanding that you haven't fully developed until you're around 25, like your brain hasn't. To which you have to kind of ask. So for 25 years, we're still kind of growing, still very malleable, still very susceptible to what's the word I'm looking for? To outside influence and new ideas and everything else. What's to even say after you're done developing, in the sense of your brain's kind of done with its growing part, that you as a personality, as a consciousness, I guess, I don't know. Some people would say soul, I suppose. But as a conscious being continues to consume media, continue to consume the world around you, and keep kind of coming to a different understanding? Do you think it's valuable to have your child start off with a pretty wide understanding of what humans can be, what our possibilities are in terms of identity? I think it is. I think it's valuable.
Spouse, your highest commitment is to being the best husband or the best wife to your spouse that you can be. This does not involve you seeking yourself. You seeking yourself is a 1960s, 1970s garbage construct in which your own personal priorities take priority. Okay, in any case, some people pointed out that, this changes the dynamic of Mr. Beast's show.
Imagine comparing being trans to cheating on your wife.
Mr. Beast was now caught between a rock and a hard place. Because
what are the rocks and hard
created is a rock and a hard place, not for Chris Tyson, whose choice this was in the first place. Whatever he chooses to do with his own family, he is free to do, although I am also free to morally criticize that thing. Because again, anybody who places their own priorities above those of their family is doing the wrong thing. We'll get to that momentarily.
Also, keep in mind, Ben doesn't just make moral arguments. Ben Shapiro and others like him advocate for legislative preferential treatment and legislative consequences for people. For abortion is a good example.
You need to plan ahead. It is just an important thing. One of the best ways to do that is by using stamp.
Holy shit. How many fucking... Did you just have 2 ads in a row, Ben? Shameless. I say shameless.
Mr. Beast is caught between a rock and a hard place because his friend, a person he has cast on the show and who is now making presumably millions of dollars because he is friends with Mr. Beast and was a cast member of the show, has decided to completely change his character. Now he's no longer just a dude bro who's with him on the show. Now he's a man who pretends that he's a woman. By the way, this actually has real ramifications for the way that the show feels.
Can you not be a dude bro and be a chick? I've met dude bros that are chicks. I have absolutely met very dudely chicks.
And there's a recent video from Mr. Beast in which this dude, Chris Tyson, who believes that he is a woman, they're interacting and making all the interactions that used to be kind of normal are now extremely, extremely awkward. Okay, but Mr. Beast is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Because if he says to Chris, listen, Chris,
take your word for it. Sure.
We can bargain for this. You want to make your personal life decisions. You want to take some time. You want to figure out what you're all about. That's fine. But you don't get to enact your personal dramas on the set of my billion-dollar show. You don't really get to do that. And if you do that, I got to say that is not kind to me as a friend. He's not allowed to do that. Our society says that.
Well, it's not that he's not allowed to do that. He's allowed to say all that. But again, this would be the case where you say that and you kind of reveal some awkward feelings about people who are transgender. It's just you kind of can't get out of that one. Because again, the person did not change. It's the same human being that it was. Chris Tyson is the same human being before and after transition. There is no different human here. It's just a gender identity. And if that's a deal breaker for Mr. Beast, then he can fire them and say, "Hey, look, I'm not okay with this on my show." But you know what's gonna happen? Honest to God, what's gonna happen is that would have happened. People would have been like, "Damn, that's kind of shitty." They were like really cool. What? Just because they're now a woman, that's like their personhood didn't change, their sense of humor didn't change, just their identity changed. That's it. They just present differently. But if you enjoyed them as a human being before, what's your problem with them as a human being now? To which it'd be their gender identity, which would make Mr. Beast kind of a transphobe. Now, luckily, he's not, because Mr. Beast is a good human being, unlike Ben Shapiro here. He is a good person who, sees his friend go through transition and goes, "That's still my homie. I don't care. We're cool." And I think he's gone on like Twitter or on YouTube and said as much, that there isn't an issue, that there's not a problem, that they are the same person, they're accepting, loving, all the rest of that shit. It's Ben who has the problem and is this... It's just funny because Ben always wants to present himself as this facts over feelings, all the rest of this shit. But Ben, what's weird, the thing is, there aren't any facts in any of this story. There aren't. You can say as many times as you want that this person thinks they're a woman, whatever. You can say that all you want. It doesn't matter because it doesn't factor into the calculation of this person changed their identity. Do we want them on the show or do we not want them on the show? And bigots like Ben Shapiro would think, no, that's weird. I don't want to be around you now. I liked you back when you had a penis or whatever, and you looked like a guy because that was important to me. Why didn't you ask me before you did this? Sorry, I don't know what to tell you, Ben. There aren't really facts to work with here. This is all feels. All of it is all feels. And unfortunately for Ben Shapiro, there's really not. This is explaining your bigotry, explaining being a bad person through pretending to have a deference to facts when we were never talking about facts. We're just talking about somebody's existence, somebody's personhood. But, you know, in a conversation about friendship, something that isn't objective, about, acceptance, something else that's not really objective. What does Ben Shapiro want to pretend this is about? Facts. Because being trans is this whole scientific back and forth for him. The scientific, ping pong ball that we hit back and forth over gender and sex and everything else. It's fucking gross.
That he must actually sacrifice his business for the sake of his supposed friend who's willing to put him in this position in the first place. Because if he doesn't put this guy on the air and destroy the dynamic of a show, or at least harm the dynamic of a show, then that means that he's a transphobe. But if he leaves the guy on the air, it completely messes up the dynamic of the show, and fewer people are going to watch it. And you can see that in the number of dislikes that have been racking up on Mr. Beast's YouTube page.
Wait, so Mr. Beast the number of dislikes? Is that because... The choice that he chose is, of course, the wokest choice. He tweeted out, Wait, is he getting a lot of dislikes because people actually dislike it, or because conservatives are trying to influence his decision-making? And also, one second, sorry. I do kind of want to look to see... Yeah, it doesn't really... Let's see, 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago? Cool. What was I going to say? Yeah, he gets a lot of dislikes because people like Ben Shapiro pretty much hound their audiences to go and harass people by over disliking their videos. It's not really revealing much. You're just telling us about your hate campaign.
This is getting absurd. Chris isn't my nightmare. He's my bleeping friend, and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off.
Good for this guy.
That's Mr. Beast's choice, but you also have a choice.
Oh, yeah. Also, what's it called? I want to point out, 4 weeks ago, he had a video come out, 102 million views. 2 weeks ago, presumably the last video since all this came out, 121 million views. So he's doing fine. He will do perfectly fine.
Choice, which is whether you actually wish to watch Mr. Beast videos, right? Or whether you want your kids to watch it. Mr. Beast stuff is very safe for kids, typically speaking. It's kind of silly stuff like, what is the difference between a $1 flight versus a $100 flight versus a $10,000 flight? It's that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay, it's that kind of. Yeah, I was about to say, isn't his stuff usually the
exposed to a man who believes that he is a woman on the YouTubes until they're of age to understand exactly what is going on? A lot of other.
So Ben, how about this? How about you police your kids to make sure that they're not exposed to media and to whatever else you don't like, and everybody else goes about their lives? If you would like to police, coddle, and hide your children from the rest of the world, you have all the right to do so. I don't really actually think that's... I don't even... I say that. I'm not even sure if you do have the right to do that. I do think that there's a certain deference that we should pay to children who want to understand the world and are unfortunately saddled with losing the genetic lottery and getting dipshit parents who don't expose them to the rest of the world. But, That's a different conversation. But you know, you do. There's an old saying in Tennessee. It goes, "You do you, and we'll do us." And please shut the fuck up. Like,
other parents are going to have that same exact question.
Then go watch fucking Christian YouTube.
Chris Tyson. And him putting his friend in that position is, on a personal level, somewhat inexcusable. But again, this is all about our society basically deciding that personal authenticity comes at the cost of everyone else around you. Everyone else around you must be made to mirror your priorities.
Nope.
It's the only thing that matters. What makes Chris Tyson feel good is the only thing that matters in all of this, which is why presumably Chris Tyson...
Well, at the end of the day, Chris Tyson's going to go home and look in the mirror and talk to Chris Tyson. Actually, I should probably make sure I'm not even... One second. One moment, please. Let me make sure. I just realized I've been repeating this to make the point, but now I'm like, shit. I'm not, like, hopefully I'm not... There we go. No, I don't want... No, stop it. Chris Tyson. Okay, so they're still... Are they still going by Chris Tyson? I just don't want to... What's it called? I don't want to dead name them. But okay. Seems like they're... I'm in Mr. Beast. Okay. They seem... Okay. Okay, cool. So they're still going by Chris. Okay, cool. I didn't want to be an asshole. Yeah, in terms of... Especially Ben over here talking about on a personal level. Dude, there is no such thing as a personal standard that's universal. Everyone has different relationships with different people.
Tweeted about his own kid. He tweeted, quote, "I won't let people talk about how I, quote, abandoned my child. He's the only priority in my life. I have his love and support, and that is all that I need. I'm doing this for him. If that confuses you, educate yourself. If that makes you mad, leave. Simple. You're not doing this for him. You're not. That's a lie. This is like the parents who say, not because they're in an abusive marriage or something, they say, you know what? I'm leaving because I have to leave my wife and I have to leave my child because after all, if I stayed, just the dynamic, I'm really leaving for this younger model."
You know what it actually reminds me of? It reminds me of parents who beat their kids and beat the word of the Lord into their kids for their own good. That's what it feels like. This feels like Ben Shapiro at the end of the day would prefer a world, and I'm sure probably would advocate for a world where the gay children of Christian parents, that those parents should absolutely have the right and would be in the moral good to send their kids to conversion therapy, so that they can, pray or more usually beat the gay out of them. Yeah. Okay,
well,
Ben.
I'm
sure.
doing it for my child. Don't you understand? The happiest version of me is the one that my child ought to see. No, that is not how any of this works.
Well, happy parents do make better,
you're constantly sacrificing your personal authenticity and happiness on behalf of your children. It's just a thing you do all the time. But let's be real. What we are now doing is we are reverse engineering how parenting, how relationships are supposed to be done. Everyone is out there to validate you. You're not out there to validate anyone else, right? It's not your job to create relationships with other people with give and take. It is their job to mirror you. It is the perfect tale of narcissists. We are now stuck looking in the mirror at ourselves constantly.
I swear, Ben is so terminally online. I don't think he realizes that this person probably already had these conversations with their family in private already. But to Ben Shapiro, I just kind of get the sense that he doesn't actually think that people have those kinds of conversations, which kind of says a lot. It says just a little bit, But okay, we're done. We're done with this. Let's see. It's already 9:18. Why don't we... I have an idea. Okay. I have an idea. Okay, it's going to take a minute, but I do have an idea. Okay. We're going to do... Okay. What am I looking for? Damn it, Josh. What am I looking for? I'm looking for image. There it is. I'm looking for this. Wonderful. Cool. Love it. All right. right? Scroll down. Oh, can I not scroll down on this? Okay. Aha. Okay, cool. Uh-huh. Okay. So it'll go here. And then I want this. And oh, I know what I'll do. I know exactly what I'll do. We'll do this. We'll do this. We'll do this. We'll do this maybe? Yeah, wait. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. No, we might actually not need this. We might not actually need this. We can get rid of this. So we have this. We have this. Uh-huh. Okay. Stop. You stop. That. Okay. Where's this thing? Sorry, I know I'm doing this like on the fly. But I just got a idea. Okay. There we go. All right, cool. We'll do this. This is what we're going to do. We're going to listen to the PBD thing while we play what's it called? While we play, let me group these really quickly. Group selected items. Mini. We'll call this like mini player. Sure, we'll do that. That seems fun. Okay. Oh yeah, perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. Yeah, we'll put this like maybe up here. That seems good. That seems good to me. I like that. Okay, cool. We'll do that. And then I'll go over here. We'll put this on.
Yes, it will.
All right, cool. Lovely. Love it. Amazing. Cool. I'm just gonna like make this small for me personally. Oh wait, no, that's gonna fuck with it, isn't it? No, we can do this. We'll do it like this. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with this. I mean, shit, we'll see if my fucking computer can survive this. All right, cool. Oh, now I can't see me anymore. Oh boy. There we go. Settings. Let's do audio. Let's like bring this down to here. Oh, settings. Where's video? Oh god, no. Stop it. We'll do like high. What if we did like medium? If we took it like easy a little bit. What's the difference between high and medium? We'll do medium. Let's do effects. High maybe. We'll keep it on medium. Oh, this is what I want. I want a display. No, not full screen. Can I get window mode? Yeah. Can I do window mode, please? Upscaling mode. What the hell is? Are you sure you want to quit? No. I'm confused. Oh my god, what's happening? What in blazes? Oh, graphics display. Oh, here we go. Okay. Well, this is odd, no, isn't it? Oh, wait, is that it? Windowed full... Stop. Windowed full screen? This one, maybe? No, that's not what I want. I want just straight up windowed. There we go. That looks good. Yeah. That looks good to me. Okay, cool. No, I can't see chat, though. Okay, this is what we'll do. We'll do this. So at least I can see chat. How's that sound? All right, I think we're good. Gotta move this up for me a bit. Cool. All right. Let's see. Where's my audio? Oh, that's really low. Okay. We can do... Yeah, let's try 80. Well, if we do like 100, maybe I'll just turn it down and I'll turn it down in what's it called if we really, really need it. I'm looking at it right now. It's not too bad. Okay. Yeah, this seems good. All right, cool. I think we're good. Actually, no, we'll turn this down just a little bit so that we can hear our good buddy over here. Oh yeah, I need subtitles. Okay, cool. All right. The computer is running. It is warm, but we will survive. Let's go. Should we turn the lights off? Should we turn? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
I know it's been a while since we last spoke, but something has happened at the mines I've been supervising.
Can't even see my setup.
No, trust me, you'll want to make time for this.
There we go.
You're looking for something big to keep your museum in business? Well, there's something big on that island. Real big. So many friends. And even my own son are still out there. If anyone can bring this thing down, it's you. It'll be the biggest attraction your city's ever seen. And you can help an old friend. Yes, meet me on the docks at sunset. I hope you're ready for a little monster hunt.
Oh boy. I can't believe this game. Well, yeah, I can't believe this game took as long as it did to finally come out. All right, game saves automatically. Pick up where you left off every time. Cool, 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 cool.
Yes, sir. They call him Charles.
Whoa.
Half trained, half giga
That feels
spider
too
from
fast.
hell.
Oh, that feels
We've
better.
been
Okay.
planning his demise for some time now.
I
and
love how the
eventually
the fucking
everything
his
ordered.
mouth doesn't even move.
Just a few people to meet and places to see. Simple errands, you know. Yes, sir. Welcome to Aranerum, the island where
Oh, boy.
miners dig their own
Whoa.
graves. Stay close.
Well, that's nice.
Charles isn't the only thing to fear
Interact
around
with
here.
items. Oh, yeah, I can play with a controller? Oh, shit. Is it okay? That's too fast. That does. That feels good. White feels good. Hi. Can you?
There's a train shed at the top of the hill.
Cool. Okay.
The train operator was killed early on by the beast.
By the
So
beast.
his old engine should be in there. If we can get to it, it could be an indispensable tool on our journey. Stay close. We don't want to be exposed for too long.
Okay, I said we're gonna listen to this PBD thing, and we will once we get into a little bit more of like, whoa, holy shit. Well, he's out of here. All right. Holy shit, my dude is hauling ass. Okay. Okay, my health is down there. Okay, cool. Cool. You know, I know there are gonna be people who are like, man, why are you playing this on like kind of low settings? I don't look. This is a good laptop, but it ain't that good. We gotta remember working with working with minimal equipment here. If you would like to see the video and audio quality and the game quality not be set to medium, then follow and share with your friends, I guess. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, let's get started with this, shall we?
We're having a conversation about who's a bigger net positive to society, selfish people or selfless people. And I wish you were there to listen to where this conversation went because it was so entertaining. No way, we need more selfless people. There's a lot of selfish people. But by the time the conversation was done, everyone said, maybe we kind of need more selfish people in the world because the world is revolved around selfish people. Hang tight before you judge. Watch the whole thing. I'm going to make the case to you at the end. If you say, Pat, you have no clue what you're talking about, thumbs down. If you say, this makes sense, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.
What a fucking content creator. Selfish. Okay, yeah. So, okay, we got selfish versus selfless people.
So before I show this chart,
Ooh.
let me tell you
Oh, there
something
we
about
go.
Mario Aguilar. Mario has been with me now for 18 years. Mario just had a wedding.
See,
He
look
got
inside
married this past
and,
weekend at my house. Beautiful wedding. We had a great time. But I want to tell you about a conversation I had with him 5 years ago. We're sitting down in the office in Dallas. I said, Mario, why don't you own a car? Cars don't move me.
Also, you know what I always notice about these, like this specific guy's channel, is everything is a fucking anecdote, man. Like everything. Not to say that anecdotes aren't important or not valid, but there is a certain amount, I feel like there's a certain amount of skepticism you should always have when somebody's arguments always seem to come from just their, always coming from their, personal experiences, anecdotes, whatever. It's just always kind of rings as not troublesome or something like that, but it should kind of tell you a lot that that's where they're always coming from. I want to get rid of this. Hide. Thank you very much. Just so I can kind of keep an eye on chat a little bit more without worrying about that chat. But yeah, just, keep that in mind. Always anecdotes.
How come you don't own a watch? I don't need to have a nice watch. How come you never have money in savings? I don't care if I have money. If I have it, I give it to other people. And I'm going through like,
who
what
is this
selfish
person?
goals do you have in place? Nothing. I said, you realize by you being that way, you're not a net positive to the world. He says, what do you mean? I said, if you're slightly more driven, other people win. I win. You win, your family wins, your peers win, your legacy wins, your future kids win, everybody wins. If you have something you're going after, the world is a better
jump?
place.
I can't.
Okay,
so we can jump.
Your selfish goals. So he sits there and he starts thinking about it. This guy's Ubering around all over the place. He's wearing the same thing pretty much every day. Same shoes, same shirt, same pants. Maybe changes it up here and there, but it's pretty
Wait a minute. First of all, okay, so I don't like this framing immediately. And the reason why I don't like this framing is because it's not even just like an unrealistic scenario. It's this, how do I put it? It is, we are already looking at somebody. He is framing, I'll continue to play. He is framing the, the opposite of pure, unadulterated selfishness. Or at least his approach to selfishness with the with pure 100% like selflessness. But nobody realistically is that kind of selflessness. That's a pretty big caricature to justify us running a system of selfish people that I think is also pretty ridiculous as a way to run a country, to run a society. What do we got here? Speed level 2 to 3, scrap increases maximum. Okay, I got no scrap. Cool. Oh, you don't take this with you. Okay, cool. We got ourselves a nice gun here. Love guns. All right, are we good to go?
Hey, that's what she's an oldie, but I'm going to inspect the truck. Why don't you take a peek inside?
Okay, I did take a peek inside. I already peeked inside. I'm waiting on you, bud. All right, this is like the, okay, that's the, okay. Cool. I already saw this. Wonderful. Cool. We good? We're good? Fuck. Oh, it's the light off of that. We good? Can I, is it this button? Do I hit this button? Nope. I don't hit that. Okay. I don't have any scrap. That's nice. That's good. Oh, what's this? Oh, nothing. Can I go somewhere? Can I go somewhere? Okay. Anyway, let's continue.
Things. There's nothing exciting going on that he's looking forward to except for his job. We have this conversation. Mario starts making changes. He makes a video about alcohol. I think the last time Mario drank alcohol was 3.5 years ago. The video inspires a bunch of different people. And then he says, Pat, I want to buy this. He buys a nice red Challenger. Car comes in. It's in the back of the building. I see his eyes light up. So look at what it feels like. Then a watch. Then a nice suit. Then nice shoes. And he starts saving money. Fast forward to today. He's been living on the water in Florida for a few years now. Drives a nice car.
Disgusting.
Has more savings than he's ever had in his life. And I'm talking a few $100,000 of savings. Just 3 years ago, he had $1,000 in the bank. He's got $300,000 in savings today. Doing good for himself. Just got married. About to be a father. Parents was here. Family was here. They're looking at him, so proud of him. What happened to this guy? Just in 5 years, we don't recognize this guy anymore. What happened to this guy? He finally chose to be a little bit more selfish. So watch this. I created this chart yesterday. I want you to think about it and kind of grade yourself as well. Then I'm going to give you different levels to it. Say we have a chart. In this chart that you're looking at,
all right, in the center moves the train forward, left moves the train backward, right stops the train. Okay, that makes sense.
Where the two collide is 50-50, meaning 50% selfish, 50% selfless. And then the person on the top right is a person that's 100% selfless, meaning they don't care anything about themselves.
It's him!
About other people. And then the bottom right is somebody that has zero self-less. Meaning, all I care about is what I do for you. I don't need anything.
Jesus. No!
So we created a chart and gave it a name with 11 different levels on where people would be based on their breakdown. And here's
oh my
what
goodness.
we found out. On the top and the bottom, if a person is 100% selfless and 0% selfish on the bottom, that's non-existent.
Can I keep moving? Okay, cool. We're good.
Why? It's impossible for a person not to be selfish. If you're not selfish, you don't eat, you don't drink, you don't take care of yourself, you don't wash, you don't do anything.
Wait, that's not selfishness though. That's self-care. That's not okay. So here's my problem. Here's my big problem with this. What he's describing is not selfishness. That's self-preservation. Cleaning yourself is not selfish. That's not what that is. Okay, let's go back really quickly so I can hear his arguments. 1 second. Let's take a pause.
As much as I do for you, I don't need anything. I create this chart yesterday. I want you to think about it and kind of grade yourself.
A chart, you say?
Then I'm going to give you different levels to it. Say we have a chart. In this chart that you're looking at, on the top left, this is a person that's 100% selfish.
Wait, so this is a
and there's zero selfless. The center where the two collide is 50-50, meaning they're 50% selfish, 50% selfless. And then the person on the
also the idea of selfish and selfless, while are things that people are, this is also not getting into like motivating factors, because somebody can act or at the very least participate or exercise a selfless act in pursuit of a selfish goal. These aren't, I don't really think there's a way to live fully selfishly and fully selflessly. These are unattainable ways of being, I believe.
The top right is a person that's 100% selfless, meaning they don't care anything about themselves. Everything's about other people. And in the bottom right, if somebody that has zero selfish genes, meaning all I care about is as much as I do
also
for you,
genes.
I don't need anything from anybody. So then we continue.
Let's also be really clear. There isn't a gene for selfless and selfishness. There isn't a gene for these things. These concepts are learned concepts. These are influenced by your environment.
We continued this conversation and we said, so which one is more realistic and which one doesn't exist? So we created a chart and gave it a name with 11 different levels on where people would be based on their breakdown. And here's what we found out. On the top and the bottom, if a person is 100% selfless and 0% selfish on the bottom, that's non-existent. It's a myth. You know why? It's impossible for a person not to be selfish. If you're not selfish, you don't eat, you don't drink, you don't take...
Okay, none of these are selfish.
You don't eat.
What? It's not selfish to eat. It's literally not. You have to survive. That's not selfishness. That's survival.
You don't drink.
Same with drink.
You don't take care of yourself.
Okay, people who don't take care of themselves, it's not because they're not selfish. It's usually because they're depressed. There's actually a lot of reasons why. There's also not a what is taking care of yourself. I don't really know what that means specifically in this context, but okay.
You don't wash. You don't do anything.
Yeah, not showering is a selfless act. That's not okay.
You don't exist. So that's a myth. a person cannot be 100% selfless. You have to be selfish in order to live, or else you're dead. However, at the top, when you look at the person that's 100% selfish and 0% selfless, those people can actually exist. Some of them are criminals, sociopaths. They're a danger to society because they're willing to sacrifice friends, family, relative, business, career. It doesn't matter. They're 100% all about themselves. However, we looked at the different...
Wait, what? No. Go back.
Can actually exist. Some of them are criminals.
So, okay, this is already bullshit. The idea that somebody... First of all, the actual criteria for a selfless person, none of those things were selfless. None of those things. Now, selfish, on the other hand...
Criminals,
Sociopaths. Are they selfish? Maybe one could make that argument. I'm not really sure if narcissistic or antisocial personality disorder is equivalent or can be likened to selfishness. I don't know how you get to that. Okay.
They're a danger to society because they're willing to sacrifice friends, family, relative, business, career.
Wait, what does that mean, sacrifice? Like in the sense of, hey, if you throw all of these people into the mouth of a volcano, you will be given preferential economic success? Well, first of all, we already know that there are selfish people at the top of our society who are willing to trade lives for their personal success. A good example of this is Norfolk Southern. Norfolk Southern crashes how many trains in small communities? We only know about the one in East Palestine, but how many of them already have lines in their spreadsheets to say, this is how much damage we're going to cause if this happens. These are how many lives it could cost. Is that worth the profit margin? And again, the pursuit of the profit margin is the only concern under capitalism. So somebody would naturally have to say, by necessity, they would have to say, yes, in this case, yeah, it's worth it. It is worth these people's lives creating this product, transporting this product, whatever, because we are increasing our profit margin. We are increasing our profits. That's the only thing capitalism is concerned with. Capitalism as a system is structured around the pursuit of profits at any cost, as long as that cost is not monetary. Monetary costs are the only kind of costs that capitalism accounts for in terms of its way of kind of devising what is and isn't a smart or wise choice.
It doesn't matter. They're 100% all about themselves. However, we looked at the different tiers, and here's what we came up with.
Also, keep in mind, you can be incredibly selfish and do very well in our world. Whereas to be incredibly selfless, not to the maximal point, but even just slightly, even just a bit more selfless, you will be punished by the market for that. We have built a system to actually destroy ourselves, to harm one another, to legitimize the harm we do to each other.
So the next level would be somebody that is 10% selfish and 90% selfless, meaning they're selfish enough to eat, to shower, to have a job, to do basic type of things, but they'll agree with anything anybody tells them. These are people that are weak-willed and generally cowardly. They're a net negative to society.
What? Okay.
1 minute they're having a conversation with somebody saying, did you hear what that person said? Yeah, oh yeah, wow, I can't believe it. Then they'll go to the next person who completely disagrees with that person. No, that person said, oh yeah. Zero backbone. Okay, there's other words for it, but that's the level of 1090. The next person is somebody that's 20.
And that's, what is this? And that's 10 selfish, 90% selfless. What? This is incomprehensible.
2080. These are folks that are indecisive. They're conforming to everyone. They can't make a decision. So I don't know. I don't know. They're afraid to make selfish goals and selfish dreams. And I don't know if this is good for me. I don't want to offend anybody.
This is myth making.
Conforming and I'm indecisive. I'm staying out of it. No problem. 3070. These are people that are passive, meek, submissive, tame, Still a little more selfish than others, but not enough yet to start getting some kind of progress about them. There's still more in the net negative community. Then you have 4060 supporting cast, very good supporting cast, very helpful. They're great people to be having in business to help out with different structures, but they're in the 4060 mode still. And in the middle is thinker advisor. These are people that are 50-50. They're good thinkers. What do you think about this? I think we should do this. What about that? I don't know. Let me think about the other person's side. Well, you know what? Their side is this side is that. So they get you to think because
wait, is that the 50-50 one?
And they're selfless. So they're actually a good person to have on the team because they can give you both sides of what to do and what not to do. The synergist and the great teammate is the 60-40. They have goals, they have dreams, they go out there and get it done, they push other people.
I just can't, dude. Like, this guy makes YouTube videos with, you know, he's obviously a pretty rich guy, and, you know, he's bought a pretty decent, you know, a good editing team, a good set, a good, all the rest of this stuff. Jesus Christ. This is, the problem I have with a lot of this is it's the naturalization of these learned traits as if you're born one of these two things. And the dangerous part of that is the idea that somebody is born naturally a better person than somebody else based on their you know, percentile of selfish and selflessness. It's so weird to me. And it comes back, I think, to like this myth that a lot of very successful people tend to tell themselves, which is that they made it because of, not because, you know, there were some advantages, not because of the relationships they had, not because of the luck that they might have gotten, that, you know, they showed up to this one meeting and it just so happened that this thing happened and blah, 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 or that somebody was having a bad day or whatever. That there's not these millions probably of factors that led them to the position that they're in, most of which were out of their control. There always has to be this fealty to their genetics, to their natural God-given place in the world, that they were given their place in the world, not unlike how lords thought about themselves, that, you know, they are in the spot that they're in because they're just naturally gifted and naturally better. I just can't, I can't with it. What are we looking at, map? How far are we? Okay, we got somebody coming up here. What is this? Any advice on rizzing the treesh? Slowly, methodically, and abrasively. I don't know. 1 second, let me play this.
Somebody that you're going to want in any great organization because they are 60-40 and they have their own things that they still want to drive to improve the company, improve themselves. They're
over the
reading,
fence.
They're improving, they're doing all that. They're not content with where they are, so they have bigger selfish goals than being selfless. Then you have the king.
I love how reading is selfish.
These people are misunderstood. These people are
even though like there's nothing selfish about reading, you're just reading.
People, but at the same time, they are selfless enough. It's about a bigger dream, a bigger cause, a bigger vision where everybody wins instead of just being about themselves. That is the 30% mixture of selfless and selfish.
This is the flat tax guy, yeah.
To the next level. The next one is a solopreneur, 80-20. Selfish, 20% selfless. They're still in
dude, it's wild. It's utterly wild.
Success, but they're bad at
what?
duplicating.
Oh, okay, I guess I can't go see them yet.
I'm not disrespectful to you. I don't
shit.
hurt you. I
Not
don't
the
take
damage.
advantage of you, but I'm just taking care of myself. You do you,
Okay,
I do me,
fair
and
enough.
I'm still a net positive to society. Not a great leader, not great at driving other people, but they're good at for themselves. Then you have the next level, which is 90-10. This is a narcissist. The world evolves.
Okay, let's talk about this really quickly, because this is also the thing. This concept that we can run better functioning societies through the acumen, the ambition of a few people, and at the benefit of those few people, is how we've gotten to the place that we've gotten. Every single thing you eat, every single thing you watch, every single thing you read, every single thing that you consume was only created for the profits of somebody else. That's it. No books would be written, no games would be designed, no food would be processed and delivered to your local, fuck, I meant to get off there. To your local grocery store, none of it. And, oh, I can go backwards. I'm stupid. Oh, thanks for that. I like how you have that one M in there just to fuck people up. None of it would make it to your door. You wouldn't eat. You wouldn't sleep with fucking sheets. You wouldn't do any of this shit unless somebody was going to make money off of it. And the idea that you would center your society around these few people tells you a lot about how we kind of view our society or how we approach it. That for any one person to reach comfort in either their, playing a video game, any of those things, somebody has to make some kind of money. Somebody has to be selfish enough to sell you that good instead of you having the right as a human to food, to education, to all the rest of these things. And this guy at the end of the day, not this poor woman sitting here flashing against this awful light, but this guy's already made it. He's already at the top. He's already paid to just have his goofy ass opinions because somebody wants to hear them. But all they are is validating of his existence in the hierarchy.
The monster hunter has arrived, I see.
I have arrived.
No ordinary hunt, mind you. We've already tried fighting Charles, but he retreats into the wilderness if he is sufficiently harmed.
We have to keep harming.
There may be a way to get Charles to commit to a mortal battle, however. Dispersed around the island are 3 eggs. Locked in the island's 3 primary mines.
Okay.
Our theory is that putting these eggs, unfortunately, the mining company owner, Warren Charles III, placed armed guards inside each mine to protect. There's an egg in the mine just down the rail. Here's the key to the mine.
Ooh, why?
I've marked the end.
Why? Is there a reason why you're not doing this? Almost not at all. The meritocracy, as far as I've ever experienced it, is an utter myth. If you've ever heard the phrase, I'm sure you have parents, and I'm sure you've heard them say the phrase. It's not about what you know, it's who you know. They're accidentally being brutally honest with you, by revealing that to you, because it is true. There are, I don't know how old you are, but I'm 30. I've been in a lot of jobs. Almost all of them, I have met people, I have worked with people who are incompetents and not really suited for the positions that they were in, but they were friends with the managers, they were friends with the owners, they previously, whatever. Relationships will take you farther, especially in our society, than it will, than acumen will. Because acumen, quite frankly, can be taught to a lot of people. A lot of people can be taught to do a lot of tasks. Some tasks obviously are going to be harder than others, but for most basic tasks, even slightly above basic tasks, for any, management position, any of that sort of stuff, it's all about the relationships you build. It's why, like, being interpersonally friendly and amenable and stuff like that will get you a lot farther than just being good at the raw job that you're doing. The raw job that you're doing can be taught to really anybody who can just, like, kind of figure it out. Whereas the people part of it and the relationship building, that's a lot more of a subjective trait. It's good things to, it's good to be good with people, but that's not the concept of merit that guys like this always talk about. No, oh yeah, absolutely. Networking is absolutely a skill. The problem is networking isn't. What does it say? While mining the farthest tunnel, we broke through a wall into a large cavern. There's something strange here, and we don't know what it is. We're requesting that Mr. Warren visit the southern mine site at his earliest convenience to give us further instructions. Cool. No, stop. I don't want to read you anymore. But yeah, it is a skill, but it's a pretty. What is this? Lean to avoid Q. Oh. Is the other one this one? Okay, cool. But it's a very subjective skill. Oh wait, oh shit, can I crouch? Hopefully I can't crouch and I didn't just miss out on a button. Hello? Can I open you? Nope. Okay, cool. Anyway, let's continue with this.
Around them. And a narcissist is actually not a net positive to society. They're bigger net positive to society than the weak-willed cowardly, but they're not a net positive to society. It's purely about them, and they're willing to do it generally at all costs. They'll use you as a pawn. They'll look at you as a way to get what they can get out of you. It's not about how they can help you. It's what they can get out of you rather than making everybody win at the same time. So when you look at this chart here, some people will...
Also, what he's describing is employment. What he is describing is the employee-employer relationship. If you've ever interviewed for a job, if you've ever worked a job and talked to some of your other workers and asked them about their wage, about maybe some of the, maybe not benefits, but what they talked about during their interview process, there's a good chance they were told that they would get paid a little bit more than you or differently. There's a good chance they were told in a non-absolute, on non-absolute terms, the kind of job they might be doing. You know, they might have been promised, oh, hey, look, you're going to be hired as a regular employee, but you're going to be treated as basically management, but you're also not going to make the same as management. The employee-employer relationship is all about them getting the most out of you for the least amount of money. There are people I work with who do much more work than me, are harder workers, do better, you know, contribute more, but they make less than me. And they only make less than me because I have a few years of experience at best, but also because I entered at this specific workplace at a time where I could negotiate and had more leverage over that company. But certainly they do more work than me. But both of us, if we're both prepping like chicken, for example, if I take an hour to prep chicken, I get $20. They take an hour to prep chicken, they're only making 17, maybe 18, even though we're doing the exact same thing. It's because their value, you know, they're valued just differently. And most bosses will tell you, oh, well, you know, it's just differences, but it's not. You're not making different food. You're not prepping different stuff. You're not doing different work. It's how they've decided to evaluate and value your labor.
Come back and say, I can't believe you just said that, Pat. You mean to tell me somebody that's this, they're weak-willed, cowardly? Yes. That's generally what happens. You just called me out, Pat. I don't like this feeling you're giving me. I'm not doing this to make you feel good. When I create charts like this, I go and think about myself, how I was at 18, then 28, and what I had to choose to change, and it wasn't easy, then 34, then 35. The only reason I'm looking at this because the last 20 years and haven't been in the insurance
also
industry,
depending on
40,000 different licensed agents in the insurance industry. You look at traits of quality.
Now, do you think he's trained 40,000 people personally? No, he probably made a few videos, did a few talks at conferences, which totaled maybe 40,000 people, but he didn't train 40,000 people. There's somebody who trained probably 20, 30, 50 people at an actual job location. But this guy, you know, he gets to say, oh, I trained like 40,000 people. I'm doing a talk. Everyone just huddles around a room and hears me talk. Boom, I trained them. It's, you know, because that's the idea. That's how he sees his worth, his value. And again, these are all arbitrary. It's all arbitrary. But if you're going to do work for an employer, you should be getting the most, and you should always be arguing the most from your employer. I always tell people, always be looking for other jobs. But when you're going to, you know, when you're applying to anywhere, right? You're applying to anywhere. There's usually like a set, like, you know, usually they have what's called a pay band. So they have like kind of a range of where you'll get paid. Figure out if you can get an understanding or a sense of where that pay band is, go above that pay band and negotiate down to what is the top of that pay band. I tell that to everybody. Always make the most that they're ever willing to offer you. Ever willing to offer you for any labor, any kind of labor that you're going to do. Because at the end of the day, again, if they can pay you less, they'll pay you less. So you might as well make them pay you more.
And you say, man, that guy could have been very big. But man, it was all about him. That person could be very big. But dude, he couldn't get over the fact that his wife kept telling him, you got to come home early, you got to come home early. He wanted to please everybody. She could have been amazing, but her mom made her feel so guilty all the time, and she fell for it. That person could have been
hearing
amazing.
Scary music.
They could never make up their minds. It was always one day this, one day that. That person was an incredible driver, and they built so many different leaders. They pissed a lot of people off, but they also built a lot of different leaders. So if you judge them on success, they helped a lot of people become financially free. These are case studies on different people. Now, somebody may say, well, Pat, does this apply to every aspect of your life? You know, as a mother, if I'm pregnant, shouldn't I be selfless?
Yeah, internships. Look, internships are a different story. I don't have a lot of experience in internships. I work. Oh shit! Fuck! I work in a kitchen.
At the federal level, a libertarian. At the state level, a Republican. At the local level, a Democrat. And at my friends and
At the federal level, Libertarian. Well, that's convenient. At the state level, Republican, and at the local level, Democrat, and at a family and friends level, a socialist. What does that even mean? So if we're talking about Libertarian, if you're like on the federal level of Libertarian, you're pretty aggressive, or pretty what's the word I'm looking for? Man, you're pretty likely to oppose. Fuck, I couldn't think of the fucking word. But you have an opposition to regulation, which, in terms of being a business person, you kind of want as little barriers to you making as much money as possible as you can get. So, again, pretty self-interested. I would say that's a bit selfish. At the state level, Republican, I'm not sure. So if we're talking Republican in the sense of economics, I suppose, if we're still sticking with economics, I don't know if you've heard of Kansas before, but Kansas had a few problems when their governor decided to deregulate a lot of their industries there. Local level Democrat, I don't even know what that even means. This person just sounds like they're incoherent. And I don't know what family and friends a socialist is. I don't know what that even means. Considering, does he mean that he allows his friends and families to own the means of production? Is that what he means?
Family is socialist. Pretty weird, right? Wait a minute. You can be a socialist, and you can be a libertarian, and a Republican, and a Democrat. Yes, at different levels.
What?
I'm simply giving you who benefits if you are somebody.
Shit!
You have some
go. Okay, wait, do I have stamina in this game? Shit, I hope I don't. I'm just fucking.
The company you're working
fuck
for
me, fuck me. Okay.
Everybody wins. The challenge with this conversation is this. You ever rented a car, and
should I look back? Oh, fuck! I didn't know they had guns. I didn't know they had guns. That's not fair.
Governor. And what it does is it doesn't allow you to go over 80
go,
miles per hour, right? And the rental companies do this so they don't have too many accidents. It's expensive, and they've done the research to know what the numbers they don't want drivers to go because it's not their car. They don't treat it like their car. The reason why this chart is being shared with you is you may be watching this and you may say, man, I'm...
Where's the gun? Where's the gun? Where's the gun? Do they come after you? Oh, shit.
270.
Okay. Fuck me.
And no, anytime you go above
70,
okay. People don't like
shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Somebody that's at the other level.
Back the fuck up. I have a full auto. Oh, that guy's dead. Right? Right? Okay, I think he's dead.
I know that's bitter. They tend to come more from a
Okay. Let's get a rewind here about this nonsense. Okay, I saw the socialism thing. Woo.
Gotta come home early. You gotta come home early and pick up their mind. Every aspect of your life. You know, as a mother, if I'm pregnant, level a libertarian.
Okay.
At the state level, a Republican. At the local level, Democrat. And at my friends and family,
yeah.
Weird, right? Wait a minute. You can be
it's incoherent.
And you can be a libertarian and a Republican and a Democrat. Yes, at different levels.
Yeah, these are all. First of all, socialism is usually an economic prescription. The others are vaguely ideological. Actually, well, the others are parties. Let's be really clear. Democrats and Republicans, those are parties that are pretty pretty wide nets. He's going, oh, iceberg. I got like terrified and actually jumped. I haven't done that in a horror game in a while, so got to see that. Third party is a waste. Okay, third party is not a waste of your vote. The farther down, the more local you go. The higher up you go, yes, but start like when you think about third parties, starting from the bottom, from your local level, from like your dog catcher or stuff like that. You're even like your mayors or your HOA board or whatever the fuck. Starting from there with like third parties and stuff. I know HOAs aren't really that political, but my point is at the local level, yes, the higher up you go, the less effective it is. You want to build the movement bottom up, and then at some point, somebody in the third party will gain that traction. But third parties immediately on the federal level, it's a waste. It's a waste. If you're in a safe state, sure. Yeah. Just while watching that one. I know. We got to 50 followers, although, we did. Yeah, we're at 51 now. I'm sorry. Well, first of all, I've been kind of broke lately, but I will commit that it'll happen. I don't know at what point, but I will commit that it will happen. Also, we haven't watched Matt Walsh today, so I have an excuse. Nice, well done. Did you vote Biden? I did. Begrudgingly, like most people.
I'm simply giving you who benefits if you are somebody that you have some selfish goals. Your wife wins, your husband wins, your kids wins, your last name wins, your family wins, your heritage.
Who the fuck? Why do I wait? Why is last name and then family different? Heritage.
The company you're working for wins. The industry wins.
Yeah, basically.
Wins. The challenge with this conversation is this: you ever rented a car and you're like, "This is supposed to go 120 miles an hour. How come?"
Who the fuck goes 120 miles an hour when you rent a car?
When I go to 80, it goes back down. That car is a speed governor. And what it does is it doesn't allow you to go over 80 miles per hour, right? And the rental companies do this so they don't have too many accidents.
Which makes sense.
And they've done the research to know what the numbers they don't want drivers to go above because it's not their car.
Well, yeah, I don't think I'd want somebody driving my personal car above 60 miles. Like,
they don't treat it like their car. The reason why this chart is being shared with you is you may be watching this and you may say, man,
I am
I'm
watching
part
this.
Of the narcissist community. No problem. Bring your governor down to 70, okay? And no, anytime you go above 70, people don't like to be around you because it's all about you. But you may be somebody that's at the other level. You're a little bit of a cowardly, weak-willed, or you conform.
This is true. I am a cowardly, a weak-willed, and a conformist socialist. This is true.
Maybe you need to bring your governor up and start talking about your selfish goals, like Mario did. You know what happened to his life?
Mario. Yeah, he could have made millions of dollars at the box office.
They tend to come more from a place of selfless than a little bit of selfish. The world is a better place if you have a little bit more selfish gene in you than selfless gene in you.
Yeah, oh my God. I hate this. I hate this gene shit. I hate the naturalization of learned traits. It's so fucking toxic. It's like, it's utterly toxic. The idea that people come out already selfish or selfless, and because of that, that's how you explain why selfish people are successful. Instead of what actually happens, which is, again, I think I've said it already, capitalism as a system is one based around the accumulation of wealth. Therefore, the more successful people are going to be the people who grow up and learn to be selfish. That's just kind of the way it is. If you've ever been to even like poor gang-ridden areas, right? Who are the people who have a lot of money, have a lot of things, but harm society? Like gang leaders and gang members, right? Those are pretty selfish people. Do you want to know why those people do well, or why they even what's the word? Like why you would even prescribe or enter into that world? Why you would even choose to join a gang and to maybe be successful? Because the only thing that capitalism is going to give you a chance to survive with is money. So if dealing drugs, shooting people, if doing all the things that gangs do that are bad paid off in a negative way, then nobody would be in them. But what do? You make money dealing drugs, you make money killing people, fighting over territory. That's the only thing, from a capitalist perspective, that is how you are just living by the structure that we live under. But it's the system. Nobody is born with these traits. Nobody is born selfish. Ugh.
Everybody around you wins if you have that.
Oh, yeah.
If you want the net positive index chart sent to you, text the word selfish to 310-340-1132.
Oh my God. Okay, also keep in mind, you know what's happening when you text selfish to 310-340-1132? They're selling your data. That's also what is happening, keep in mind. This dude is 3,000% selling your data to a data broker, to China, to whoever is willing to buy it for $1. That's what you're doing. Sure, you're going to get a text message with a fun little like, hey, this is, what the fuck is this guy's name? Paul or whatever? Yeah, I think it's like Paul. Yeah, this is Paul. I'm really glad that you texted this phone number. Yeah, that's not, yeah, you've just sold your phone number and whatever personal information you enter into a form that they might give you, enter into an email list, whatever. You just gave that all for him to go sell to like to a data broker. Utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. All right, let's head to the next town. Oh my God, where are we going? Oh, I can't zoom out anymore. Damn, this is a big fucking map. Okay, so we're okay, cool. I'm okay with this. On the road again. Oh wait, can I? Oh, that's fun. All right, cool. Where's this motherfucker? Oh, wait, am I? No, okay, I thought I was out of gas. Do you need to find gas in this game? It never said. Or at least I wasn't paying attention. Oh, shit. I think I almost fell off. Let's see. Oh, let's turn this up a little bit. Let's turn the game up. I feel like the game's a bit low. That'll probably do. Yeah, that's probably a little bit better. Oh yeah, wait, do I need to change the things? Coming up here, I will. Man, what a calming little... Oh, right, I have scrap. Damn. Oh, that wasn't worth it. Yeah, that didn't feel worth it. Oh shit. Hopefully that's not him. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? I do not. Closest thing I play is Siege, but I mostly play on console. Actually, what am I saying? Mostly, I do play on console. Although I haven't played in a while. I do miss that game, but I've gotten so much worse at it. I probably wouldn't be bad at Counter-Strike, though. I'm pretty decent at shooters. Just not very good at PC shooters. I'm just not used to the format. WASD plus a mouse, I'm not great with yet. But maybe we'll get better through the course of the streaming career. Let's see. Wait, fuck, wait, no, shit, stop! Okay, whew. Wasn't ready for that. Oh, that can't be good. Oh, that can't be good. Is it going this way? Okay, it is. Oh shit, that's not good. Let's get the fuck out of here. Do you support direct U.S. involvement in Ukraine? Oh shit. Direct U.S. involvement? Not boots on the ground. I do support the weapons deals that we've had with them. I support the fight against fascism. God damn it! Stop! Back the fuck up, my guy! Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus! Well, try and raid you when my stream is over. Normally like 5, 7. Well, like a content. Oh, thanks, Iceberg. I really appreciate that. Respawn at train? Yeah, that'll do. I want to like play, honest to God, I want to play more, holy shit, it's Mr. Clean. I grew up watching you. I really want to like kind of do like a what's it called? Like a crossover between like the horror game community, because I fucking love playing horror games. Like PC horror games, indie specifically. Papa Combo's my jam. But I would love to be like at the intersection of that and like political stuff, because most of my YouTube, like most of what I consume on YouTube is like let's plays of horror games and then political shit. Mr. Clean video. Hey, there you go. Grant the U.S. is directing operations. Yeah, there's been yeah, we've had some. Yeah, I saw that there was some of the leaks. I'm admittedly, so when it comes to the leaks, I'm a bit skeptical about them, only because like I feel like I sound conspiratorial, but you just never know what's a real leak and what's a controlled leak, I guess. If assuming all that stuff is true, oh man, my fucking train is fucked. But assuming we are directly on the ground, that is not a good idea. I can't say I'm super surprised, but you know, like Black Ops shit and stuff, I can't say I'm super surprised that those guys are there, but it's certainly, I wouldn't say, is incredibly smart for us to be any more involved in weapons deals. We should be pushing for peace, but the argument for peace is not like it's not on Ukraine's part to be the ones coming to the table and negotiating all of this. Like, they are the put upon group here. You know, the group that can at any point stop the war is Russia. Oh, you're not wearing clothes. Holy shit! Why do you look like Andrew Tate? Am I wrong? Sure you got out of fucking prison, my guy.
I need not introduce myself.
Pun isn't even denying, you know, it's true. Yeah.
Name's Greg.
Why is no one taking a step back and going, hey, China, Russia?
In case you haven't heard already, Warren, the mine boss, is keeping 3 monster.
Well, unfortunately, the production of weapons and the sale of those weapons are what's the word I'm looking for? Is a big factor in that. Unfortunately, defense contractors make a lot of money. That's not to say that the actual weapons aren't going to a good cause in the Ukraine situation, but that is why we always spend so much fucking money on defense.
One of the X is in the North Mine.
You couldn't just said that, Andrew Tate? God damn. Okay, North Mine. Cool. Sure, the invasion is terrible, but why don't we focus on helping ourselves become better nation than we help ourselves? It's almost like... So, okay, so... I don't want you to... Okay. So something I want to... I'm glad you said that, because there are a lot of people, and there is a sentiment and a... It's good to be skeptical of the defense industry specifically in this case, because we do spend a lot of money on, making all of these weapons, shipping them over to Ukraine to help them fight a war that is justified. I support everything else. But the question becomes, where the fuck is any of this money when we want to offer Medicare for all to people? Where's all this money when we want to educate our youth? And the reason why those two things, why those specific, I guess, pillars of our society get no attention, get no funding compared to something like the defense industry, is because teachers are workers of the state. They educate and shepherd the next generation of workers into capital owner-owned businesses. Those capital owners then use their money, their influence, to buy politicians to keep their taxes low, to keep the schools that they benefit from getting educated workers from as low funded as they possibly can, while still giving them workers that can build their cars, build their TVs, whatever, but can never compete with any of them. You want the next worker class, I guess conceptually, to not be as ready to challenge you with the next new technology. You want them to kind of be good enough to work on your stuff, but not smart enough to create a competitive company, to create a competitive product that'll put you out of business. So you kind of want to keep people in a certain threshold of danger to your profits. So that's, and again, teachers, we have teachers unions all over the country. They're not all completely, connected and contiguous. But unfortunately, what that means is teachers don't have money to lobby. They don't make a lot of money to contribute to then lobby the government in their favor. Defense contractors, on the other hand, make a lot of money. They do a lot of money because they're doing a lot of these large deals and arms deals and everything else. The other one was healthcare. Because of our privatized system, they don't want more people getting access to, like the basic care. They want people to generally be continually sick and continually in debt to them. All of these medical companies, these hospitals, any of these, they benefit from all of us owing them money all the fucking time, because our food isn't all that great of quality, because our healthcare is too damn expensive, we can't afford it, and because a lot of people can't afford to go to normal doctors to get preventative care. It means that then down the road they have to pay more money for the immediate care. It's why you see a lot of countries who have single-payer healthcare systems. They have very strong preventative care systems. That means that their citizens don't rely so heavily on that immediate and more extensive care, like cancer treatments and stuff. All that type of stuff costs a lot of money. But if you can catch cancer early, it's a lot smaller of a bill. And again, you have a lot more people who aren't dying all the time. But I don't want you to ever think that it's a this or. It's a we help Ukraine or we get all of these things. We can do both. It's just when we're not fighting a war, when we're not doing any of this stuff, we just don't fund any of these kinds of programs. We're just like, fuck it. If there's not a war to fund, and this is especially after 9/11, but if there's not a war to fund, if there's not something to go after, then we'll just figure something out, and we'll figure something else to throw the military budget at. Anyway. It is good prop for the Russians to think they're directly fighting us, and good for I mean, they don't. If we're behind our presence behind Ukraine, empowers them to negotiate better and gives Russia less of an opportunity to strong arm them and take the land that they shouldn't have. Let's see. It's almost like the defense contractors lobby 50-50 to both parties, and we left behind. And I'm assuming, are left billions of dollars of equipment in Afghanistan. Like, all the stock just got emptied, and you can make new contracts, and now call me conspiratorial. But I don't want to KMS, and I love that. Yeah, that's fair. Come on, contracts. Those are government entities, i.e. social, not private, and I'd even say that lobbying itself for regulations that protect corporations isn't itself a government entity. They don't want education to be good so that people can be fooled. Yeah, there's also that. I mean, look at that difference in funding and education in red states. Really. Let's see. Government entities, i.e. social, not private. Even say that lobbying itself. Well, no, lobbying. So lobbying is not done. So their lobbying is done by private entities to drive our governmental bodies, which are democratically voted on, to support their policies along with everything else. But we have to understand, let's be really clear, we do not live in an equal democracy. All of everything I've said would be at the very least tenable if we lived in an equal democracy, but we simply don't. We live in a world where a majority of Americans would like to see the passage of, as a small example, some common sense, basic gun regulations, basic gun control, but we never get any of it. And it's because an entire party is essentially captured by private interests within the gun lobby. At the end of the day, the NRA gets their funding and a lot of their kickbacks from gun manufacturers that then they use, the NRA, to lobby and give donations to keep politicians in power. And so if you're a politician, you're like, if I disagree with the NRA, they might fund my opponent. I now don't have a career. I'm now not rich. I'm not in high society. I'm not any of these things. So I'm going to agree with the gun lobby because it's the financially smart thing to do. Our system, the incentive structure is that towards winning your elections and staying and holding those offices for long periods of time. A good example of this from the left-wing side, I mean, left-wing in parentheses, in quotation marks, not parentheses, is Dianne Feinstein. Dianne Feinstein can't even do her fucking job, but she stays in the seat that she is and hoards and lords over it because she has tenure, even though, has she done anything for California? She can hardly do her job at this point, but she has power. And that's also what a lot of these politicians want. They want power. They want the ability to influence at the stroke of a pen society. So, there's also that. I mean, there's a lot of, when it comes to private ownership and lobbying, that is that is not a system that I would say is at all like on the more social end of it, I guess. Guns don't shoot themselves, fix the problem at the start, you can't get rid of them. I live in a red state and is generally thought to have the best public education in the country. Which red state? People do stupid, terrible things, help people to decrease crime and violence. Somebody doesn't want to fix it. Mr. Clean, are you I take it you're a pro-gun individual? And using my Florida does? Florida has one of the best public education systems in the country. Wanting to see Warren's empire. Now that you're here, I need a few minutes. While I'm working on that, why don't you bring that box of rocket ammunition back here? Okay. I can do that. What are they ranked in? Yeah. Holy shit, brother. This is on the other side of town. Oh, wait. What's this? Bunker break-in. Find a way into the... Oh. God damn, dude. Unmet NPC. Okay. I'm in the middle of nowhere. Now it takes 5 minutes to get to my house. I really need a gun. If you live in the middle of nowhere, what do you need a gun for? So I wouldn't actually... I don't even really need to argue that. My problem is not with gun ownership. My problem is with the there's just not enough there's not enough stopgaps for people who own guns, unfortunately. Or at the very least, there's not enough ways for us to identify and restrict people who probably shouldn't have access to firearms, I should say. As a gun owner myself, I let me be clear. I love my Beretta 92 FS, but there are, what's the word I'm looking for? There are people who I think are dangerous to themselves, dangerous to society, that we should probably try to weed out in terms of gun ownership. When I specifically say common sense. What's it called? I don't have the list in front of me, but there's any number, some red flag laws. Oh, there we go. Got some scrap. I don't know how much scrap How much scrap do I have? What is it, inventory? Is that what it is? Inventory? Got 5. Okay, that's good. What was I saying? There's any number of laws, universal background checks, a national registry. That would also be really good. I know a lot of people are really against the national registry, but the idea that people just know which guns you own doesn't really infringe on your rights. It's just information. I can understand if you're nervous about that information, but trust me when I say that any corporation can tell you how many guns you own just on its own, let alone the government. Oh, what's this? Please deliver a copy to Paul. I went outside to do a routine check of the lighthouse. As I walked around the corner of the building, I saw that beast, Charles. He spotted me and charged straight up the hill in my direction. That spider train is a hideous monster. I can't understand why Warren wants us to stay on Erinerum instead of trying to escape the beast. I suppose Warren has simply gone crazy, thinking he can handle the situation on his own. In any case, Charles ran right over me, trampled my leg. I won't be able to attend the upcoming meeting and have asked Greg to bring back a copy of the notes. Okay, that's cool. Oh, geez. Oh, wow.
We haven't met, but I've heard lots about you.
How did you hear about me already?
I have a favor to ask.
Okay, yeah. I kind of got it. Oh, okay, so okay, cool. Where's this one? How far do I have to go? Oh, sweet. Is that it? Find a place, new breakers, repair. Oh, cool. That's okay. That's like close by. Let's see. What do they rank? I live in the middle. Let's see. I think it was this way. It seemed like it was kind of this general direction. Not sure what this is. Okay. Florida high, but on average, red state. Sort of. High school and college grad. Individuals need to receive care for mental health issues. They need to be identified. I don't need a gun because I... Okay, so individuals need to receive care for mental health issues. So, okay, so Mr. Clean, here's the question. How do we address that? So I have a solution to that, which is a Medicare for All system. That's the thing that I support. I want to... Whoa, wait, Wait, what? I'm confused. Oh, I need to go find that. No, wait, did I pass it? Where the fuck was the thing? Yeah. So the solution to that is offering a universal, or at the very least, near universal, at the very least, healthcare system. But that's not really something that we have, unfortunately. And also, a flaw in that logic that it's just the mental health care, and I don't think it's just guns, and I don't think it's just mental health. It is the relationship of our mental health here in this country coinciding and meeting with the access to guns in this country. Now, I want to solve the mental health issue, which will which is like, if you take it as this line, as we bring that down, the likelihood of people getting guns who have mental health issues is going to lower. It won't lower 100%, but it will lower. But I would also like to see a reduction in regular guns, because there are going to be people who don't have mental health issues who still have either politically motivated or interpersonal issues or beefs with people, I guess, that will lead them to pick up a gun and harm somebody. You know, not everybody who shoots somebody or, you know, everybody who goes on a massacre is always mentally ill. Some of them are politically motivated. Oh, do I need to do this in a pattern? Okay. It's gonna be that one. Yeah! I'm so fucking smart. I am so damn smart. What's up, Bisky? Right, but they have an easier time getting healthcare in most places in Europe. Yeah.
Fixing the lighthouse will hear those.
Cool. And also, to get a gun in Europe, as far as I understand, isn't... Wait 1 second. What did she give me? What the hell did you give me? North... Oh, no, she didn't give me anything. Oh, I have 36 scrap. Holy shit. Getting guns in Europe isn't that difficult. From what I understand, the European gun laws are... They're more restrictive than here, but as long as you can pass a basic background check, and I think they have some storage laws, they're pretty equipped to... You know, you can own guns in Europe. It's not illegal. There's just... I think they also have a different relationship. We have to also remember that people who, I think, reference the Second Amendment in the way it was written, we have to also understand the Second Amendment was written during wartime. There's a reason why it's written in the kind of language that it is, and there's also a context to when it was written that I think is important to keep in mind when we discuss, you know, the Second Amendment broadly. You know, this is a wartime document. You can expect, like a lot of wartime documents, for there to be a deference to violence and stuff. Oh my god. How much? Oh, it only takes 1 scrap though. Okay, that's not bad. I want a little bit of this. Oh, we'll just like, oh yeah, probably do a little bit of armor too. Fuck. Okay. All right, cool. We are off and running. What is this one? Find a way into the... Retrieve the box of rocket inside. Okay, we can do that. Okay. My name is Bisky. Your name is Bisky. Mental health is considered healthcare there? Yeah. I'm good. What are y'all like? Oh god, not guns. Can I ask a question, boys? By all means, ask a question. Guns are not legal for self-defense in Europe generally. Yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think you need a gun to defend yourself. A knife is a perfectly applicable a tool. You know, I hear a lot of times people talk about guns as tools, and guns are tools, but they're tools specifically for self-defense. But you know, the what's it called? The use of guns as self-defense, I think, is a kind of a maximalist approach to self-defense. You know, you can I got no problem with you defending yourself with your clenched fists. Or even knives. You know, knives are, you know, they're damaging, certainly, dangerous, absolutely, but there's something to be said. Ooh, C4. There's something to be said about the finality of firearm usage in a self-defense scenario. Also, I do think that if we passed, I do think that we can find a way to pass better gun in terms of like ownership, purchasing, and stuff like that. We can absolutely pass better regulations on those and address the self-defense concerns. Oh shit. Okay, I thought I moved back far enough. I guess I didn't. Actually, honestly, I think that with better restrictions on who can own firearms, I feel like proper and improper use of firearms for self-defense will become a little bit less muddy when we can track weapons easier, when we require training for more people. In terms of firearms, I do think there should be some requirements on training, because, you know, if you've ever been to the range, if you've ever been to the range, even a few times, there are people there who are absolutely dangerous to you, even in a safe environment like the range. But that's just because they didn't go through any, like, all of the training, or they didn't get any training for that matter sometimes. Oh boy, that's gonna explode. But like, training is very important when it comes to firearms. I'm a big supporter of gun safety training. Gun safety training is super duper important. Version 1 failed. Version 2 failed. Version 3, 13 seconds flight. Version 4, success. Oh, okay, cool. Well, that's certainly good. Return to John Smith. Oh Christ, I can't see anything. Okay, where the hell is this guy? Okay, that's that guy. Where's John Smith? Is he like, where was he? Is this dude the dude that's all the way back here? Where the fuck was this guy? Are you John Smith? Weapon mission? Oh, fuck, I should have done that. Well, you know, we'll make it back to our friend John later. I don't know where the fuck. Yeah, we'll make it back to him later. Guns are not legal for self. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'm just curious on how you view something. The Big Black Cock interview with Elon Musk. Did you see that one? I did see. I saw bits of it. I have not sat down to watch the entire thing. Guns make killing too easy. That's why the murder rate is through the roof in the US. Yeah, it's a gun. Unfortunately, the problem with guns is they are incredibly easy to they're incredibly easy to misuse. In a way that I don't want to say a hammer, because a hammer's not really the same kind of tool. In the same way, what's like a good tool that's not I don't want to compare. I don't want to make an unfair comparison. Let's see. Wait, where are we going? We want to go straight, right? To the blue. That's the main mission, right? North Mine Mystery. Yeah. Okay, we're going straight. Okay. I'm trying to think of like a good example of a tool that's like complicated to use but not overly complicated. But also, again, we have to recognize that even the comparison of a gun to a tool, you know, any tool usually has a function that isn't to harm somebody. It's usually to do other things. You know, drive nails, tighten screws, clamp things, Whereas a gun's sole tool is to kill somebody in the easiest way possible. I personally, now you can call me whatever you want. I'm a fucking nerd, all right? I would be so much more comfortable living in a world where everyone fucking wielded badass katanas, and like every once in a while somebody would have a pistol, because at least like at least in that scenario it takes some fucking skill to wield a katana well. Bladed weapons take some skill, take some energy. You can't just go point it at somebody and it's over. That's just me though. I would prefer that world. I would be so okay with living in a world where people walked around with swords still. Also, it's just cooler. I mean, I guess it's not cooler than my 92 FS, fair enough. But still, my point is, guns are just too easy, man. They're just too easy. It's fucking self-defense on easy mode. Man, this is let's see, how far do we have to go? Okay. Thanks, Iceberg. I sometimes feel like I ramble and don't make sense, so I appreciate that. Most of the time most of the time I assume I'm making absolutely no sense. Try to be better though. I'm trying to be a little bit more thoughtful since doing it. Let's see. Give me I only have 4 scrap. I'm stupid. Okay, JK. The fuck was that? Alright. What time is it? Oh, it's 10:37. Okay. We gotta wrap up here. This might be we might explore this, and then that might be it for tonight. But tomorrow, I should say this. In case you haven't seen the schedule, tomorrow we're gonna be on at, I think I put 11:30. I might have put 11:30 or noon. But we're gonna have a caller, somebody from my YouTube comments section who wrote me many paragraphs. He's gonna come on and we're gonna have a little chat over a few different things. So around 12:15 is I'm thinking when we'll start that. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Okay, nope. Run faster. Okay. So yeah, keep that in mind. 12:15 tomorrow, where I'm gonna shoot this guy and we're gonna explore this. No, you're right. I should have never came here. You're right. Bitch, where'd you go? Die. Okay. You should have never came here. You see how easy that was? If I had a sword, I would have had to earn that victory. Okay. Eat shit. Okay. Whew. I don't know why. Those guys actually kind of... I think it's because they yell at you while they chase you. It's that primal fear of being chased like a child. But yeah, so if you want to see, like... I don't want to call it a debate because the person was pretty cordial and nice. I mean, I'm sure there will be some debating. When I have people on, I try not to call them debates because I don't want... Unless I'm going into them in a very confrontational manner, I try to talk to everybody as individuals for the most part. But yeah, I'm sure there will be some disagreement. It should be a fun convo. I don't know 100% what we're talking about. I'm sure we'll talk about trans stuff, and I'm sure we'll talk about... There was like one other thing, but I admittedly don't really remember. I just know he commented on a Matt Walsh video. But we'll probably talk about, you know, trans rights and stuff. Ooh, okay. What time zone is that? Mountain time. So whenever I say anything, it'll be mountain time. So what is that? 2:15 Eastern? Yeah, 2:15 Eastern. 11:15 Pacific? Yeah. But yeah, always interesting to have people on. I really like talking with people, I find. I'm too far gone. I don't know if I can just run back to the car and... Oh boy. Can't crouch. I don't...
Hey, get out of here.
Shh. Fuck me. Fuck me. Is this open? Nope. Ow! Fuck. Okay, we're just gonna have to like... Can I hide? Is there like a hide mechanic? Doesn't seem very effective. Oh boy. Fuck me. Okay. Oh god. Okay. Maybe I won't survive this. Okay, what if I hide back here? Can't find me. I can hide forever, in fact. Shh. Oh wait, can you hear me talk? I hope the mic thing isn't a thing in this game like it is in Phasmo. Okay. I think we're good. What's this? Make sure nobody goes near the egg. If you see anyone that shouldn't be there, shoot them immediately. No risk can be taken. As soon as it finishes, kill it and bring the body to me. Lovely. I don't like the whistling. I'm not a fan. Is he around this corner?
No visitors allowed.
Fuck! Okay, cool. We'll just go back here. He won't find me again. Oh, shit. He's like on the other side of this door. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, he's going away. Fuck! Well, that seemed unfair. Okay. Stop shooting me. It's not fair. They have guns. I have... Oh, shit. Go. Ow. Oh, you dick. Aww. Okay. All right. All right. Damn it. Okay. I think I'm gonna call it for tonight then. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at my death. I guess this has to save. All right. Yeah. We will... Where's studio mode again? Here we go. Do that. Cool. Quit this. Are you sure? I am sure. I'm super sure. All right. We'll close this. Give the laptop... God. You know, admittedly, my laptop isn't dying from all of that. So that's at least good. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Yeah. I already said the thing. Tomorrow, we'll probably be going live at noon Mountain Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a debate or a conversation that might turn into a debate scheduled for 12:15. Should be fun. If you enjoyed any of what you saw, if you learned anything, if you've got some catharsis, or if you just like hanging out and lurking in chat, I would be really appreciative if you hit that follow button if you're on Twitch. And if you're on YouTube, go and hit the subscribe button. That also will get you... you'll get, and you do the bell. There's like the bell thing. I'm not good at the whole like hit the bell and do the icon and all that shit. I don't do enough of that, but I know I don't. One of these days I'll get better at that. But either way, you subscribe, then you'll probably be more likely to see what happened, you know, when the YouTube videos go up, when the segments go out. Other than me mixing up my words and not really knowing what to say, I'm going to leave you tonight. You all have a lovely night. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.